I am super excited to have a new lens to join my Nikon lineup. This is a dream lens for me. It's the Nikon 600mm F4 FL version. So here it is, just a gorgeous, gorgeous lens. Here it is with the lens hood. So there's the lens hood that goes on. It's quite a long, giant lens hood. And I'm really, really excited to have this new lens in my lineup. Now, I've always wanted a super telephoto like a 600 F4, and I've been looking, and finally I bit the bullet and I got this one. Now, I was trying to decide between the FL version and the version before this. So what really tipped the scales for me was the weight. This one is actually 1.25 kilograms, which is about 3 pounds lighter than the other 600, the previous version 600 F4. So this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous lens, but it's also lighter. In fact, if we look at my other telephoto lens, this is you can see this one. This is a 200 to 400. This is my previous, well, not my previous, I still have it, but my previous longest sort of telephoto lens. This is a 200 to 400 F4. Now, the weight of this lens, you can see this lens here, is only 500 grams lighter than my 600. Only 500 grams lighter, but it's actually more than that. When I pick this up, a lot of the weight is in the front. So when I'm holding this, there is so much weight in the front of this lens. It's so much harder handhold. I sort of might hold it here, but it gets really heavy. And even when I put this on the table, it sort of leans forward. But there's a lot of weight at the front of this 200 to 400. And what they've done is, not only have they, this is a light lens compared to the previous version, but the balance of the elements in here is incredible. So they do have it's an FL lens, so a fluorite lens where those are lighter elements, and they have one in the front, but a lot of the weight is in the middle. So in fact, if I take this off this here, in fact, holding this lens, this is actually easier to handhold for me than the 200 to 400. Even though it's about 500 grams lighter, it just doesn't feel it. It feels so light up here. The weight is all in here, and you can tell by the tripod collar here, that's this way. In the old ones, it was sticking out here and came this way because all the weight, a lot of the weight was here. So this is actually, I feel this is much more hand holdable. And that's one of the things, the reasons that I went and bought this one used as opposed to the version before. Lighter and that lens element design. So that's one of the things I love about this lens is the weight and the balance of the lens elements. So now a 600mm lens, what am I going to use that for? Well, generally it's for any wildlife or maybe some sports with a larger field. But one of the things that some people think of a 600mm lens as a birding lens, which it can be. But one of the things that I've found so far, I've just recently got it, but if I use it with a full frame body like the D850 or my D4S, then I want a little bit more reach. I can actually just pull out my D500. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll go with 2 camera bodies, not the other lens, not bring this extra weight, but the D500 will make it like the equivalent of a 900mm lens. I've also I'll try out, I just got it, so I'll try out some of the teleconverters so I can put a 1.4, I've got up to a 2-time teleconverter. I know that'll make it an F8, not really great for autofocus, but F8 1200mm lens. But I'll explore and I'll try it out, but I'm excited to try some things out. Now, in terms of the actual, what's on here and how this, what this looks like, it has the autofocus. Get in here closer, you can see it. There we go. We've got the autofocus, so auto and manual, or manual and auto, or just manual. Your switch for full autofocus or just from infinity to 10 meters. It does, the minimum focusing distance is 4.4 meters, 15 feet. So not super close, but closer than you might expect. You've got your VR, so sport and normal and off. Memory recall. Now I actually like this button. I have this on my 200 to 400, and that button is on the other side here. This is this memory set button. So what I like to do is maybe I've got my camera on a tripod, and maybe there's a bird in a tree or something, and I'm waiting for it to do something. And so I'll focus on the bird, and then it's really easy to hit right here with my finger. I'll press the memory set button. And so then at any point, if I need to get back to that focus point, I can just press one of these buttons on the top. There's actually a set of 3, 1, 2, and 3, there it is. And so it's easy for me to just press one of those buttons and it'll lock back to that focus really quickly. So I really like that feature. And there's a sound button, I just have that off. So I'm really excited to get this out and take a bunch of pictures with it. And I'll share some of those pictures. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. And if you haven't already, I'd love if you could subscribe to the channel. And I hope you enjoy this quick look at my new lens. And I look forward to grabbing some photos with it.